Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian. This video is about adding tapping, harmonics, left and right hand dead slaps to your slapping or other styles to make it more interesting. We are now in the day of bass soloists. Many of our more talented bass soloists use a combination of variety of techniques and styles all mixed in, and this makes it happen because of all the variations. It keeps your interest. It's a great experience to listen to people play like this and to play it yourself. This little piece of music is 8 measures long, and I'm going to divide it up into 4 sections and show you the technique as well as explain it to you theoretically, so perhaps you can use it in other situations or expand on it yourself. Okay, this is in the key of E, so you can use your famous slapping the E and play any of these licks and it'll work famously with it. So let's start with the first line, and it would be so the technique would be index finger on the E on the 14th fret of the D string, second or third finger on the left hand playing 11th fret, which is an F sharp, and that will be a 9, and then the 5th, you can use your third finger or your second finger. I prefer the third finger. So this will be the first measure of the line that I showed you. I'm going to give you alternative uses right now. Root, third, octave, root, third, fifth, root, third, octave, root, third, fifth. There is another fingering for this that may be easier for you. The thing you're going to lose by using this alternate fingering is that you don't get the root and the third to ring together. You sacrifice that, and you use your index finger twice. I'll walk you through this one very slowly, and I'm going to take my hand off each time I hit a note because my hands are so close together in this lick, it winds up covering up and you can't really see what I'm doing. So first, 12th fret E string, and then with your index or your middle feels a little more comfortable. Then the next note is your third. We're going to hit it with the index finger as opposed to what we did before when we heard that nice harmonic sound. That's gone now because we're going. Now, and then we hit the lower octave again. Now we hit the octave and with the index finger on the right hand on the 14th fret of the D string. Now we hit the third with the middle finger or the index finger. The last note would be a B right here, and you're going to use your third finger on the 16th fret. So basically what's happening here, the last 3 notes, is your triad. Another variation you can use. That about wraps this up. Let's move on to the second measure. Second measure, there's a subtle change. You still have the F sharp right here on the 11th fret of the G string, and you keep that, and then you take your right hand and you move down 12th fret D string, which is a D, and then you hit a G sharp right here. The challenge here is to play the first lick into the second lick smoothly, like this. The next section is actually 3 measures long, and that will be measure 3, measure 4, and measure 5. So measure 3 is simply a B minor scale, half of a B minor scale, going B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. That's what it's based on. That's the theory of it. But the line is So that's pretty nice. You could actually play any scale using that technique, and I'd like to explore some other scales with that at another time, but let's talk about the B minor for now. So you have you would have 11th fret to the 9th fret, index finger hammering on, pulling off, and then your left hand hammering down with the 3rd finger. Then you go up a note, do the same thing again, going right up the scale. That's pretty cool. I like that. You can do that with, like, you could take that phrase, a 1-bar phrase in a minor, and start it from anywhere on the neck and play a minor chord for yourself. If you wanted to, G minor, for instance. D minor. It's a beautiful little phrase. So at this time, I'd like to remind you that all of these notes tabs, and I got a great drum play along to go along with this, will be on my Patreon page, and you'll be able to find a link for that in the video description below. So we have now the B minor scale. We get that out of the way. Now the next part is an E7th scale going down, and that would sound like this. Technique on this is a little bit involved, and it requires some serious muting to make it quiet. Once again, you could use your Velcro wrap around the end of the neck to do that, but I don't like to do that, as I explained before, because some of the things I want to ring, so I try to use right and left hand muting techniques to make it right, and it's a little involved, and that's how I'm going to approach it here, so you can learn from it. On the right hand, we have the 18th fret on the D string and the 19th fret on the G string. We're going to hammer both of those, and we're going to pull off to the D on the 12th fret of the D string, and then hammer on to the E. So there's some muting involved here, and I'd like to talk about that for a minute. So I'm muting with my left hand, so I don't want any ringing from the hammer of the double stop of the 18th and 19th fret. Then I pull off, and at the same time, the index finger is muting the G, and then I hammer on to the E. The rest of the line works exactly the same way, except you move down a half step, and you play the double stop here from the 18th fret and the 18th fret on the D and G string, and then you move down to the 16th fret and do the same thing. And the whole line sounds like this. Next section measures 6 and 7. Let me play it for you, and then I'll break it down. Now this is probably the most difficult because you're playing 2 harmonics, a harmonic chord essentially, and then you're slapping and then you're tapping. You have 3 techniques in this one measure. Okay, this will be the very last measure. I'll do it slowly. I like to play the last 2 measures together so you can hear them connecting. If you like my videos, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, throw me a like, comment, ask me a question. I'd be glad to answer them. And I thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you again.